You watched Sunday Night Football, perhaps?
Yes.
And yes, so.
Congrats to your path.
Thank you.
Wow.
Yeah,
look at you.
I'm getting some flack already saying it was like, you barely beat the Chargers. It was 16-3. Doesn't need to look pretty.
Yeah,
and
just need a W.
Yeah, and it showed that Drake May showed signs that he is very much a first full year player because it's only his second year.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I have to say, because I admittedly watched most of every game, or at least the end, and this was the best start to a playoffs that I think I've seen in my
100%.
lifetime.
It was very exciting.
Yeah.
Every single one.
Every single one. I think they said the most fourth quarter lead changes in any round of the playoffs.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
It was very exciting.
Very exciting. It actually gives me stress.
Oh gosh, I know. Well, and that's
especially if you're vested.
that's the thing is like no matter what. Now you didn't care about the Jaguars because you're a Bills fan,
Right.
but like your heart breaks for the Panthers because of
Yeah.
how good they did and they came
Yeah.
back. And outside of Bills fans, your heart breaks for the Jaguars because both these teams they had it and then they just had the resurgence back, and then the Eagles they couldn't handle it. It just was crazy.
It was.
It was fun to watch. So yeah, congrats to all the teams. My game as a Patriots fan was definitely the least exciting, 16-3.
Yeah, which I'm sure you'd be fine with.
But yeah, and there's still one more to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't take anymore.
And
I think that's why we're kind of sort of like slow mo today, right?
I come to work at 2:30 in the morning, and staying up past 10 for that game. Like I made it to part of the fourth quarter. We were winning, and I fell asleep, and I woke up in a panic and saw that they won. So I try to make it to the end, but honestly, like you said, a little bit sluggish. Absolutely.
Yeah.
But you know what?
Right.
It's
We're all
the playoffs.
feeling it. It's the Monday blues, but how about Carolina blues?
Yeah, do you know what? At least we got that, right?
Yep.
So today is cold. It's seasonally cold. But the only thing about today is the sunshine is going to make you feel so much better. 52 is where we should be. If we were actually doing what January is supposed to do, we wouldn't really treat this as a big deal. You're like, oh, it's a beautiful day. But we've been rocking the 60s and the 70s even over the last few days. And compared to just 24 hours ago, it is at least 10 degrees colder pretty much across the board. Only exception is the mountains. Really a difference of 10 to 25 degrees from the foothills to the sandhills. That's the power of that cold front. If you were out at all yesterday, boy, did you notice a big transition. So compared to yesterday at 9:05, we were 49 degrees, and right now we are freezing across the area. So 24 degrees the current temperature right around the Charlotte area, 30 degrees for you in Burke County and Morganton, and then freezing for the Albemarle area over to Charlotte, and then 30 degrees also over into Lancaster as well. Going forward, though, hike, keeping in the spirit of the playoffs. It's a typical January day where a high of 52 is where you should be. That's what we're going to do. But we're going to have a brief warm-up to around 60 degrees, and then it's the winds and clouds increase for your Wednesday that could lead to some precipitation on Thursday. Now, there's been some hype, some speculation that, could there be a changeover to snow around Charlotte on Thursday? No. You will have a chance for snow in the mountains, as you usually do, but that's not going to be the case here closer to Charlotte. But focusing in on the winds, a wind out of the southwest is the best way to crank up Mother Nature's thermostat. We have seen examples of this multiple times recently, such as on Saturday, where we had those warmer temperatures getting into the 70s, and then we also saw it around Christmas Day, where we had temperatures that were record-breaking. A strong wind out of the southwest, especially if you can get some sunshine with it, is the best way to challenge some records or at least be near record warmth compared to where we should be. We're going to see that again for Wednesday. More clouds will kind of stunt the growth overall, but then eventually you're going to see a big shift out of the northwest, and then again we calm things down and then they pick up again on Saturday. Oftentimes when the winds are picking up, like widespread windy conditions like what we had, it's either a front is coming or a front is passing, as we had on Saturday into Sunday. That's why it was so windy for the Panthers game. Bryce still did so well trying to deal with those winds at the end, because boy was it whipping and whirling. Here's what it looks like on our future cast. Over the next couple of days, there is nothing to worry about. It's going to be perfectly sunny, absolutely gorgeous. For your future cast by Wednesday morning, that's where we're adding more moisture. I think it's going to be partly sunny to mostly cloudy most of the day. There will be some breaks here and there, but by the end of the day, we're anticipating some rain and even some snow up in the high country. So that snow is going to be a slight possibility, and it's not a lot. the way it's looking. I think the snow overall is just going to be a dusting to a coating that typically is less than an inch is what the technical definition is. That's where you're going to see, I think, around the Boone area, seeing upwards to about an inch or so. And let's see if you can see more detailed here. And then by your Wednesday about midnight's showing really just a dusting for parts of Avery and Ashe County. But the higher you go up atop of the mountain, such as Beach Mountain, Grandfather Mountain, all the ski resorts are going to love this because they likely are going to see 2 inches plus overall. But as I mentioned, the snow chances right now for the Charlotte area do not look likely. I think it's Sunday morning is the one that kind of looks the most intriguing to me overall, because you're going to have another system that's combined with some much colder air. And here's what that looks like. So our next best chance for any sort of precipitation is Saturday night and Sunday. And it's this time of year, now that we're getting back to what January does, if you have a overnight precipitation chance, anything can go, especially if temperatures drop down below freezing. Well, as of right now, it looks like we have one front that cools us down, and a secondary one, if it gets enough moisture from the southwest, could provide some snow. It just depends where we're going to be. As of right now, it looks like a 0 for the Charlotte area, but this is just something that I'm watching. So no alert day, nothing that. It's too far ahead. But if there were a day that would change and kind of surprise us, that would be it. So I just wanted to mention that. So a quick recap today. High of 52 is exactly where we should be. Sunshine across the board. Lots and lots of sun to go around. And this morning, 26 degrees is the coldest of the year. That's being dramatic because we were only 12 days in. But going forward, over the next 10 days, the coldest low I have is Friday morning, 22 degrees. And things can still change for the extended forecast outside of 7 days, but it does look like we could get even colder going forward. And that 26, by the way, is looking at our coldest temperature we've had since November. Well, 26 would actually tie for the third coldest. And that's especially tough, especially when you have such a warm set of days that we've had. So for that 10-day forecast, starting with the 7, we're going to have high temperatures right around 60 degrees. By the way, my pick of the week is tomorrow because you have the sunshine, winds are still on the lighter side, and you're right near 60 degrees. Now, do I think Wednesday could exceed expectations and be warmer? Yes, but you're also dealing with a windier day and a cloudier day. If you want kind of the mix of what we have today and on the warmer variety, that's going to be tomorrow, because then after that, it's easy to choose because 41 degrees is the coldest. We're back to around 50 degrees on Saturday, and then all in all, you're pretty much 50 degrees and below. Saturday's the only day that maybe could jump up to the average or slightly above, but for the most part, a lot more 40s are taking over. So enjoy the sunny days on the warmer side while we have it. Again, Tuesday, the pick of the week because of just the best looking day and the warmest day, or at least one of the warmest.
Okay, so chance for snow then, maybe slight.
Right now, I'm talking about less than 5% for Charlotte.
Okay.
But the fact is that you have that this far out shows that you have some pieces. So it's just about the timing. I'm only showing you that just to say, hey, we're watching this. This could happen. Plus, there's a lot of things that have been coming out over the last couple of weeks. Big snowstorm coming. Yeah, there's a possibility. But as of right now, I'd say less than 5%, and that might even be generous, but we are watching some sort of system because anytime, again, you have a chance for rain overnight, it could change to something else.
All right. Thank you, Chris.
Of course.
That was good. And hopefully you recover from all the football
No,
watching.
I'll be good. I don't even know where I just went. Have I been talking? I don't know.
It's all a dream.
Where am I? How did I get here?